Yeah, I think they're more frequent down here now.
Yep, I'll need it.
We'll call meeting to order at 1:31 PM. Mitch, could you please take roll call?
Sure. Pledge of allegiance.
Duran,
Here.
McEwen,
Here.
Lines,
Here.
Smithers,
Out. Kate's out. Now we'll stand and say the pledge of allegiance. Went out of order there, didn't I? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, at this time, if any visitors would like to make a comment before we move on, you are allowed to do so at this time. And we'll move on to number 4 then. Community Development Block Grant Revitalization, a motion to approve 2 change orders, 15 and change order request for 14 North Walnut for 14 and 16, and 14 North Walnut. Change order is 15 for 14 and 16 North Walnut Phase 1. Do you want to speak of that, or just have you had a chance to look at it?
these are the same ones that.
Then they were the same ones we just tabled the other night, so we are bringing it back to the floor.
I just had a question,
Yes,
Mitch, in that email you sent to us from Sarah at IDDA.
Okay.
It mentions in here something about that this work would not appear in a change order. So I'm just wondering if that would include this. It mentions that a couple times. None of that extra work would appear. in any-
Any additional work on like the inside that's not covered like in the grant, like, there's some,
Yeah, I saw that the
I think
inside.
that's what she's talking about.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
so can I get a motion and a second, and then we can do your discussion, I guess or did we?
We didn't know.
We haven't, I think we need to ask for a motion, that'll open up the floor for further discussion.
So moved, Duran.
Okay, in a second?
McEwen.
Okay, now further discussion. So he's asked his one question with Sarah. Go ahead if you have any other comments and questions, guys.
Yeah, I think it's just the bullet where she talks about how that means pragmatically is that the owner of 16 North Walnut, for example, could hire Cornerstone and any of its subs to do the work on the building, but it would be done under a separate agreement
Right.
and would not appear in a change order or pay application from the DTR grant. So having the two on the same change order, is that going against what she's saying here for getting the work done? Like, we just want to make sure if it needs to be done completely outside of everything else we're doing.
No, because this is for the shoring costs, not for any other work if Mark were to have him do any other kind of work.
But
And this is where I'm asking the city to pay for those shoring costs on his behalf on the 16th, since he's not in the program.
okay, so they can both be on the same change order,
Mhm.
even though half of the work is part of the downtown revitalization, and the other half is outside of that DTR grant work. Because 16 is not included in any of that. Like, she's very clear about how that has to be separate projects, right? We could hire the same company to do it. We could use Cornerstone or try to work with them to do the work, but it needs to be 2 separate projects that are taking place.
Can I see your email? Because I don't have that one.
Yeah, he'll bill it differently or whatever is what she said.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm fine with moving forward. I just want to make sure that the paperwork itself
Oh,
it looks like 2 separate things. I just don't want to get down the road and have an issue with paperwork.
Basically, you're saying take 16 off the one I signed.
Yeah, like just have 14 on one and 16 on one so that so the DTR funds are paying for 14 and these other funds that we're getting ready to look at approving are paying for 16 on its own. Just so there's no confusion that neither one of them was. Does that make sense?
it does, but I think this
We would
is,
have to call Jacob and ask.
to me, it's still just doing the shoring, and that's what we're paying for. And
Right,
so
but
they
we're
can-
paying, but the grant is paying for one and Glenwood is paying for another,
Right,
right? So I think I
And
think
so
what
you're
saying
asking if we could
is take
separate,
half of
before I
this.
sign these, we could ask them if we need to have a separate one written up. And we will
That's-
ask him when we get it.
Okay,
At this
We're gonna have a meeting with her,
Monday morning,
7:30 a.m.
7:30 Monday morning.
So the
So
issue
that-
is just the formatting of like how it's.
So we
split
may
up.
have to
that's it, yeah.
edit this, of which then I can just sign, but,
Okay,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
we're basically needing to do the change orders in order to do the shoring costs. And we know the costs are 13,582 for Julie's and 13,582 for Mark's.
Yeah.
At this time, that's what it is. So if there's anything different, we would let you know. So any other questions? And we'll make sure this is defined.
We can,
and do we need to add, is this the one where we need to add in not to exceed?
That'll be on my
The
next,
second one?
the
Okay.
motion.
All right.
Yeah, so this is for motion A. So I'm gonna ask for a roll call then.
wait, who made the motion?
Christina.
Christina and Natalie
seconded
seconded it.
McEwen,
Yes,
Kate, no, not here, Durian,
Yes,
Lyons.
Yes,
Okay, so the motion carries, and we'll just make sure the wording's correct before I do the actual signing.
Yeah.
In case they needed to edit any of that. And then a motion to approve emergency shoring costs for 60 North Walnut. As I've reached out to each of you, I feel an obligation from the city because he was not in the program and we're having some issues trying to get it all done and it needs to get done quickly. It's an emergency. At this point, I'd really like to get the round table back in there as quickly as we can, and the longer we wait. And I feel this is the best option for everybody. So if you have, I'm gonna ask for a motion and I'm gonna have a discussion if you want to talk about it. So from, motion for item B
so move Duran.
in a second.
is this, are you gonna have like a max of?
Yeah, we'll talk, you can do that in the amount, yeah,
McEwen,
okay. Any further discussion? And I'm gonna ask not to exceed 20,000 in case something crazy happens during the process, that we don't have to call another meeting, that we've got a little leverage if we need to.
So if it was over 20,000, we just have to reconvene.
We'll have to reconvene, yeah, sadly, but we'll have to. I don't expect it to. I think that's pretty accurate, but I just didn't want to take any more chances.
and the emergency funds that you requested,
Yes.
is that in the works? Did we get an approval?
Oh, that we haven't, from IDEA?
Yeah.
No, we haven't gotten no approval on that, but we've got money in our budget that Mitch has found that we could utilize,
Well,
Right.
this For the shoring.
for the shoring.
Mark.
We're just talking about the shoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the emergency and that to help with some
That was
other
that was for 14.
14, and we haven't gotten any word back on that.
And, the architect in SWPCO are working on the.
Right, and that has nothing to
Okay.
do with this motion.
All right,
that
perfect.
one. Yeah,
Never mind then.
yep, okay.
my concern is, are we setting some kind of precedent in that the city's money is being used to fix someone's personal property? And I know it's a extenuating circumstance, an
Mhm.
emergency, so I could see saying paying part of it, but I don't see paying all of it. And if we did, this just covers the shoring,
Right.
then
That's,
what about the repairs beyond that that are probably gonna be needed?
well, Mark would be responsible for his own repairs on his building.
Mhm.
This is to get the project, to get the shoring and get those walls stable,
Mhm.
so we don't have collapse.
Yeah.
And possibly setting precedents, but the fact that he wasn't part of the program and it affected him, he was not in a position to have to cover that cost.
Mhm. And I know some of the work that's been done already may have affected what's already going on, but
Yep.
there was probably something already there to begin with.
Could have been, we have no way of
And,
knowing
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so for
But-
me, I just can't see paying all of it.
Well, I think it'll cost us a lot more in the long run if we don't do this.
I agree.
I agree.
But you have your right to
Yeah,
feel that
yeah,
way.
absolutely.
I respect that, Mike.
Absolutely.
Any
I-
other discussion?
Yeah, I also feel like this is something that came on all of a sudden and our small businesses around the square are already really struggling. And some of it is public good, to be able
Yeah,
to
I
keep those
agree.
open and keep the integrity of the downtown area.
Mhm.
And so to me, I hear you
Mhm.
completely, but I also feel like we put money into other public good things, and I do think that our square is a community public good. So if we do have to contribute a little bit more to that to keep it up and operating, and also our small business owners feeling supported, I think that, I think that's.
And those are the reasons I'd be willing to pay something.
I get it, yeah. Any other comments? Okay, then I'm asked for a roll call for a motion to approve emergency shoring costs for 16 North Walnut not to exceed $20,000.
Duran,
Yes,
McEwen,
Yes.
Lines,
No.
Okay, motion carries 2-1. Okay, and then at this time, I am asking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, McEwen?
Second,
Lines?
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
142. Motion adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Did you say it was for 16?
13,
No, not to exceed.
not to
Oh,
exceed 20, but it,
20, okay.
yeah, I
I thought I
don't
heard you say
anticipate it.
16.
I'm hoping it sticks right here on the penny.
Okay, I
I'm
thought I
gonna
heard you
keep
say
it,
16.
no,
Okay.
no, 20.
Do you need signatures from us on anything?
I don't think so today. If we need to, I think we probably did it on the last one that we missed, so. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have hired a contractor, and now, I don't know if this is ironic or not, but now Cornerstone is trying to hire